Hi students, welcome back to semester 2 for the module Research Methods and Evidence-Based Practice, and the module code is XSSCYP5073. Today's we will discuss about the from the week 13 to week 17, and my name is Samrina Afzal and I'm Health and Social Care Lecturer at the Birmingham campus at Scholar School System. So let's start from the week 13 under the semester 2. So under this session, we will go through the assignment guidelines and that is relevant to the research proposal writing. We will discuss about the research proposal template, and under the research proposal template, there are the different sections. We will have a look about the different sections, what should be included under the each section, and how you can write down under the each section as well. We have three basic learning outcomes from today's session. First one is Introduction to Research Proposal. That is our assessment in semester 2 for this module. The second learning outcome, we have to link the module learning outcomes with our assessment. And the third learning outcomes from our today's session is understanding about the assessment grading criteria. So let's talk about our assessment and deadline. At semester 2, we have only one assessment for this module, because the first assessment, that was the research method presentation, we have already done in semester 1. So let's have a look for this assessment. This assessment is a 3000 words or equivalent research proposal. So students have to write down the research proposal after finding out the research gap from the previous research. The total weightage of this assessment is 50% of the whole module. In the deadline, you have to refer to the assignment brief, please. The students will get the final submissive feedback after 15 days, the submission on the Turnitin. The module intended learning outcomes for this assignment is 1, 2, 4, and 5, and we will have a look on the next slide about all these learning outcomes. So what are the module learning outcomes for this assessment are? So let's have a look. So first is knowledge of a range of research methodologies, including their key features and their appliances in subject-specific discipline. So you have to find out the different types of the methods in the specific area of the research. The other learning outcome for this assessment is evaluate the potential usefulness of various research methodologies for exploring specific research question, research problem, and research design. The third learning outcome, you have to understand the basic process of designing, conducting, and writing up research, because you are going to conduct the secondary research, and you will not go through to collect the primary data from the field. The final learning outcomes for this assessment is understand the relationship between the research policy and practice, and you will also go through what is the role of the ethics in this secondary research as well. So let's talk about the research proposal, where the students have to write down the research proposal. That is the assignment in semester 2 of this module. Basically, this assessment will assess the ability of the students, how they will design, justify, and will make a plan for the research project that will be a part of the level 6 as well. So first of all, the students have to find out the research gap from the previous the research, and they have to go through the many type of the peer literature review, and they have to provide a rationale for the selection of the specific area of the research. The students have to specifically mention the aims and objectives of their research in the research proposal. They have to critically justify what type of the methods they will use for their final project, and they have to mention in this research proposal, and the students can do this on the basis of the strength and weaknesses of different types of the methods. Then they have to justify the research in terms of the intended learning outcomes. That means what will be the intended outcomes for their area of the research. The ethical consideration is very important part for the research. So students have to critically discuss what type of the ethics can be considered in their selected area of the research. The students have to submit their research proposal on the Turnitin by the provided deadline. Further, it is very important for the students before writing the research proposal to go through the grading criteria grid, because when they consider it, it will be helpful for improving their grades as well. You can see the grading criteria grid on this slide. Basically, the students will be assessed on the five criteria. First is the knowledge and understanding. Second is structure and arguments. Third is analysis and conclusion. Fourth is source and evidence and adherence to the referencing style. And the last one is the written, visual, or the oral style and clarity. Students can also see these grading criteria on the module handbook for this module. On this slide, different type of the resources has been recommended for the students before writing the research proposal. You can also go through all these sources as well. Many website links and journal resources have been mentioned on these slides. So it is really important for the students to have a look on all these resources before starting their research proposal, because these resources will be helpful for improving their learning outcomes as well. So during the research proposal template discussion, we will basically discuss the layout of the research proposal that the students can follow for writing down their research proposal. So the first part of this assessment will be the title page. Students need to write down the research title, their student ID, course and module, and the submission date. According to the LTU policies and guidelines, students are not allowed to write down their name, lecturer name, or the campus name. The second part is the abstract, and you can say the summary of your research proposal. Here students have to write down the briefly overview of the research proposal, and the guided word limit for the abstract is 300 to 400 words, but the word count should not be included in the abstract section. The students need to insert the academic table of content, and keep in your mind it will not be the part of the word count as well. In under the table of content, students have to list all the sections and the subsections of the research proposal with their corresponding page number. You can see on this slide the research proposal template, and for the convenience of the students writing, this layout has been divided into the different chapters. So under the chapter 1, the students can write down the introduction about 600 words. Under the introduction, they can write down about the background of their selected area of the research, and further they have to provide the justification or the rationale about the selected topic in their area of the research. They can also provide the statement of the problem or a research aim. That means what is the aim of their research that they will conduct by reviewing the different type of the literature reviews. They have also need to mention the different type of the objectives, and basically the purpose of the objective is how they can achieve the aim for their area of the research. In the chapter 2, they can need to write down the literature review, nearly 900 words or equivalent. Students have to go through or understand and review different type of the existing studies from different systematic literature review, and they have to also go through the different type of the theories about their topic from the literature review. And after understanding and reviewing this literature review, they have to identify the gap in the present research, and how they will and basically they have to provide the rationale for the selection of the area of the research under this chapter 2. And chapter 3 is related to the method section, that is the methodology, and the expected word limit is 1100 words. So please keep in your mind you have to write down in first person in methodology section. Under the methodology section, students have to consider how they will design the research by using the different type of the methods. It depends upon their area of the research. They can select qualitative, quantitative, or mixed method. The next, they have to consider what type of the data collection methods they will be used in their research proposal writing. The selection of the data methods, data collection methods will be according to the research design. For example, if they select the qualitative method, they have to select the interview or focus group methods, and for the quantitative method, they can select the experiments or other type of the suitable methods. The students have also need to be considered the sampling strategies, like who will be the sample and how they will recruit the sample for each selected method. Different type of the sampling strategies they can use in their research area. For example, random stratified, systematic, and cluster or non-probability sampling. In detail about the sampling section, we will go through in the next session. Then they have to write down about the data analysis plan, like what type of the statistical or mathematical tool, or you can say the thematic analysis they can use. It also depending on what you are doing. So let's have a look on the next slide. In your research proposal writing, students have also need to be considered the ethical consideration, and it include the informed consent, confidentiality of the data, that means the GDPR, that is General Data Protections Rules, and anonymity, that means the participants shouldn't be included by their exact name, and what type of the risk management can be considered. Further, they can also include the participant safety and compliance with the institutions and the legal ethical guidelines. In during the week 15 in semester 2, we will go through about the ethical consideration in detail. Further, students can also make a timeline, proposed timeline in a table form. Keep in your mind this table section will not be the part of the word count. So they can design any negotiated style, the timeline, and for the completion of the stage of the research, for example, using a Gantt chart. Under the chapter 4, they have to write down what will be the impact or expected contribution to the present knowledge for their research. And the expected word limit for this section will be the 250 words. So under this section, the students can write down what will be the expected outcomes or the findings after depending upon the analysis and the analysis section. And further, students need to also write down what will be the potential impact of their research on the field, as well as on what will be the practical applications of their research. You can see on this slide, the next part will be the conclusion, and the expected word count will be the 150 words. So students have to conclude about their research proposal in a summary form. And further they have to provide the reference list, and keep in your mind the references all should be in alphabetical order, and students have to follow the APA 7th edition for designing the references. The last section will be the appendices. Under appendices, they can write down supporting materials such as how they draft the survey or interview questions in their research. And further, they can also add different type of the tables or the charts or any type of the extra data. So under the week 15, we will have a look about the different type of the sampling approaches, and how you will invite your samples for conducting your research, and basically how many participants can take part in your selected research area, and how you will go through to actually recruit your sample by using the different type of the research method approach. The session learning outcomes are first of all, explore the appropriate approaches to consider the appropriate participant sampling and sample size for your research study. And the next learning outcome will be the reflect on techniques for participant recruitment. That means how you can recruit the participants. So what is the difference between sampling, sample size, and recruitment? We'll go through on all these differences on the next slides. So let's go through about the difference between the sampling, sample size, and recruitment in your area of the study. So sampling means who to invite, like who will be your participant in your area of the research or study. The sample size, like how many participants will be involved in your study. Recruitment means how you will actually invite your participants in your area of the study. So, what will be the sample size if your methods related to the quantitative designing? Basically, two types are basically the most important methods that is related to the quantitative designing in research involve experimental or the survey methods. But how large the sample will be included to get the reliable results? For the quantitative analysis or the quantitative methods, the larger number of the participants or the population can be a part of the research. But how big is a large sample? When you are designing your research, including the experimental or the survey, and it will be really important you send the questionnaires after designing the questionnaire and send this questionnaire by the survey to the different people. Why and why it is important? It is really important because when you will going to the survey regarding the specific type of the research, because survey will allow the researcher to collect the large amount of the data that will be helpful to understand the complete understanding about the area of the research, and in this way the results will be comprehensive. You can see on this slide the sample size related to the qualitative research. The most generally used research methods for the qualitative research is interview study and focus group study. It is for the qualitative research, it is suggested that the saturation point is better for collecting the data. But it is very tough and complicated for the researcher. Where is the saturation point until they have collected and analyzed all the available data in regarding to their area of the research. So, according to the rules of the thumb, the sample size for the interview study is 5 to 25 is a more suitable number. Similarly, for the focus group studies, 25 to 50 participants are commonly used. The further you can see on this slide is a participant recruitment. That means how the researchers can recruit the participants. For the recruitment of the participants, it depends upon the sampling strategies, desired sample size. And then you have to think about how you can recruit your participants. For example, if you want to involve a small number of the participants in your research, and you want to involve the participants from the school, then you can directly get in touch with the school by either sending the email or calling to the school by phone, or you can also directly go in person to discuss about the participation process. Different types of the approaches can be used to recruit the participants, but it also depends upon the sample size, sampling strategies, and your area of the research. But the common techniques that can be used to recruit the participants or the samples are posters or the leaflets, and you can also post on the by using the different type of the social media, and further you can also email to the different professionals to discuss about the participants or to recruit the different participants or the samples. Week 17 is basically relevant to the research ethics. So under this week session, we'll go through what is the research ethics and why the integrity for the research ethics is important when the undergraduate conduct any type of the research projects. So what will be the session learning outcomes? The first learning outcome will be introduction to the research ethics and integrity. We will talk about the importance of the ethics and integrity in the research. Later on, we will go through the ethical consideration in desk-based research, that is the secondary research. Further, we will also consider if the participants are the human beings, what type of the ethical consideration can be important. And the final learning outcome will be the application process for undergraduate project and their application writing. So how you can decide what to research? Maybe the students have a more passionate about this specific topic, and they want to continue the research about that topic. That means they want to get more knowledge about that area of the research. That's why they have selected their topic for continuing their research. The other possibility may be they are inspired by the some specific type of the topic that been delivered by the lecturer, or that may be the part of some type of the modules in your studies as well. The other possibility may be the researchers will conduct the research in that area. Maybe they are inspired by their lecturer, where the lecturer have already discussed about the specific area of the research. The other possibility for the selection of the research topic may be the specific career ambitions. That means the student want to go or in their future to continue their career in that field. For example, you can say the effect of the social media on mental health. Maybe the students have an ambition or they want to continue their career to work as a psychiatrist or to work with the mental health patients, and so that's why they want to continue their research regarding the effect of the social media on mental health. If so, there are a topic you could research which you could talk about and at an interview, and so all these are the possibility for the selection of the specific area of the research. So on this slide, you can see how do I create an ethically sound project. For the basically there are two types of the research. One is the desk-based literature research and literature project research, and the second type is the empirical study. Desk-based research is basically that is the secondary type of the research, and the empirical study is the primary research. In the empirical study, the students will go in the field and collect the new data, and they will analyze, and will after analysis they will get the results. But in desk-based literature project, that is basically the secondary research, that is also a part of your research proposal and also the research project. It basically involves the students have to read a lot of the different type of the systematic literature review, and they have to go through what has been done before about the specific topic and what is missing in that research. And that is basically the gap in the research. The students need to find out the gap in the specific area of the research, and how they can find out the gap after reading and understanding the different type of the systematic literature review. After finding that gap, you have to design the unbiased research question. And on that research question, you can continue your research proposal writing as well. So, what is desk-based literature project? A desk-based literature project basically involves analyzing and synthesizing the existing research and to address the question or problem after finding out the gap from the present research. You can select this type of the desk-based literature project if you want to understand about the theories, framework, or the different type of the concepts. Your aim will be to identify the gaps in the existing literature, and you can build a critical analysis later on as well. It will be helpful if you have a limited time and resources, and for this type of the research, no need for data collection, participants recruitment or the field work is required. So you can see on this slide, this is about the empirical study. So what is the empirical study? It is basically involve collecting and analyzing the primary data by using the qualitative, quantitative, or the mixed type of the methods. You can choose this approach if you want to generate the new data, and here you also need to find out the gap in the existing knowledge, and if you want to be more curious about the real world issues and you want to solve these issues and you want to understand first and try to solve by using the different type of the methodological approaches. Further, the researcher have to test the specific type of the hypothesis in empirical study, and this type of the study is more suitable if having the proper time, funding, or experimental setups are available. And this is mostly prioritized under the STEM and social science disciplines. Unintentional misconduct can happen if the researchers having a lack of knowledge, carelessness, and they are not following the proper procedures. So unethical practice can happen as well. So it is very important if the children are the participant in the research to take the informed consent either from the children if they are able to give the consent. But if your participants are very young age and they are not able due to the some circumstances to provide the consent for participating in the research, then it is a responsibility of the researcher to take the informed consent either from their parents or their carers as well. And children's can and it can also be considered that the children's can also be withdraw at any time from their research project. So, what are the key principles for ethical research with the participants? So it is very important to consider the data protection or GDPR that basically ensure that your data are secure and you have to collect only specific personal data that is a requirement of your research project. On this slide, you can see some types of the links that basically been provided by the Leeds Trinity University, and these are basically the forms that is required for conducting the research and what type of the ethics and the policies and guidelines will be considered. On this slide, some useful reading resources has been provided, and it will be helpful for your research proposal writing as well. This slide, I have also provided the further reading links from different type of the journal articles, and it will be helpful for carry out the research and writing down the research proposal. Finally, thank you very much for listening my lecture. Thank you.